YouTube, what's the deal? It's your girl Jahira, and I am back. Y'all, I'm back. Oh, my goodness. Let me just start off with a couple of disclaimers. First of all, I have no business making this video at this hour. None. It is 4:11 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time, and I'm fully aware that I look right now like I have gone through the fire and been through the flood. I know this. Don't nobody need to tell me. I know, but I had to come in. I thought it was going to be a good long while before I made another Dating Dilemmas video. Sorry, fresh pack. But as is wont to happen in life, I got thrown a curveball. A major, major curveball. So, y'all, here's the deal. There is this guy. And I've known him for a while. Yeah, I've known him for like a good minute, actually. We knew of each other for quite some time. But I've known him personally for a while. It was never more than a high and by situation, mainly. I mean, it kind of got closer in more recent weeks, but yeah, it was kind of one of those. And he's a great guy. I've got to find a name for him, and y'all jot down this name or stick it in the file on me that y'all have on your head because it will be coming up again. So I'm going to call him Marco. Yeah, I'm going to call him Marco because I like that name. And Marco was always cool to me, like always, just really, really sweet and kind of laid back, like a gentle guy. He's a gentle guy, and so you know, we flirted back and forth. I never really thought nothing of it. Like honestly, he was a crush. He was a crush in my head. So tonight, for whatever reason, I was on Facebook and I noticed that he was online. So just, you know, I hit him up like, hey, I miss you. How's it going? Because he just, ooh, I can't give away all that information. But suffice it to say, I haven't seen him in a while. He's like, I miss you too. How's it going? And, you know, we started conversing from there. And then the conversation kind of turned to like the topic of love. And he started sort of expressing the experiences that he's had in the love department and sort of what he's looking for in terms of love and what he hopes to get out of a loving experience. And then we started to get into sort of what he looks for in a potential partner and everything of that nature. And it was literally like, y'all, I play with you not. It was like he was taking my thoughts out of my head and typing them to me. Because his standards and his, you know what I'm saying, his ethics are so in sync with mine. And frankly, I've never heard my own thoughts come out of somebody else's mouth. Like, you know what I'm saying? I've never heard somebody articulate what they're looking for in almost precisely the same way I would. And it kind of blew me away. Now, again, a relationship has always been friendly, but it's been formal. You know what I'm saying? Like, we have never spent hours together at the mall or hung out exclusively with each other. Like, again, we travel in similar circles, so we tend to intersect occasionally. And I was just blown away by the way that he was articulating himself. And I don't know when I started doing this. Hold on. I don't know when I started doing this, but like I started to interview him. I didn't mean to, but in my head it was just like, oh my God, he's about all this. What else is he about? So I just started like battering him with questions. So, you know, and I was just kind of like, well, what are your goals? You know, where do you see yourself? You know, if someone else was to describe you, how would they describe you? What are your flaws? Are you content with them? Do you feel like you're ready for a relationship now? Or do you think you're still healing from past events? Like, I went in. Y'all, it was ridiculous. And I didn't mean to. It was like my fingers were just going and my better judgment had left the building. It was crazy. It was nuts. But he was just answering in a really, concise and thought-provoking and evocative way. And I'm just astounded by this. And so in the back of my head, I'm kind of going, so if he feels this way, you know what I mean? And I feel this way, and he feels exactly the same way I feel, maybe he might feel this way about me? So I asked him for his number, and he gave it to me, which I hadn't had before. And I called him. And then we started, kind of like continuing our conversation on the phone. And as the conversation went deeper, that thought of, maybe there might be a place for me in his life it was a scream in my mind, But I was afraid because, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm one of those people, either I am your type or I'm not. There really isn't much middle ground when it comes to me. And so, Lord, the problem was, in situations like these, especially when I have this kind of established crush in my head, I get, and believe it or not, y'all, like, I get painfully shy. I mean, just unbelievably tongue-tied, shy, stammering, the whole thing. Like, I'm not somebody I don't approach people. I just don't. I do not approach people. I am not an aggressor when it comes to something like that. Like, I always wait for the guy. In my entire, 16 years of dating experience, I always wait for the guy. Because, if you wait for the guy, then you know that, at least you're not in that vulnerable position that nobody likes to be in. And believe me, I have heard the I Just Want to Be Friends song for so long that, it was the #1 chart topper on Billboard for like 6 years. So trust and believe. I was not going to say anything, but I just kept hearing, carpe diem, closed mouths don't get fed. The worst thing he could say is no, and you'd be no better worse off than you are right now. And frankly, you're content with being single, so it's not like you have anything really to lose here. And then I go into what I call the prayer. And the prayer in this context, and I just need one of my subtastics. I just need one witness on this, is when you start praying for stuff that you don't really have no business praying for, but you figure God knows your heart, so you're going to pray for it anyway. So it was just one of those moments like, Father God, Lord Jesus, creator of heaven and earth, and of all things seen and unseen, thou art the God that delivered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego from the fiery furnace. God, you are the God who can do anything but fail. And God, I'm just asking you, you who art a miracle maker, you who raised Lazarus from the dead, please do not make me look like an ass in this situation. Dear God, I pray. It was one of those. It was just one of those. There's no other way to describe it. I know in the grand scheme of things, no business praying for it, and yet I was. But I have a wonderful God, and he understands me. So you know what I'm saying? That's what I did. And so I was just kind of like, I skated around the issue for, a good 7.5 minutes. And I, just kind of got to this place of, if you feel like you're ready for love in your life and you feel like, we seem to be on the same page when it comes to what we're looking for, do you think that in time you could find room in your life for me? And in that split second, my heart, I caught like angina, atherosclerosis, arteriosclerosis, damn near coronary artery disease. Like, I was going through it. It was just too much. Too much. And then he told me yes. And he told me that he liked me. And I said, well, I like you too. And this conversation over the phone that we had lasted for 2.5 hours. And I'm telling you, had my cell phone not started to beep indicating that it was dying, I never would have known, because the conversation flowed so freely. He's an amazing talker. I hope y'all know what I mean when you know what I mean? Like, he was just an amazing talker. He definitely steered the conversation, but I really like that. You know what I mean? I like to listen. I do enough talking here. Let me listen once in a while. And he told me that he saw my videos. Oh God, he might see this one. Okay, I'll cross that bridge when I come to it. The point is, but he did. He told me that he had seen my he called them my blogs. And I thought it was so cute. And and apparently the first one he saw was the one I did on Kaya, in other Ho Have a Seat news. Which is not the first one that I would have picked out for him to see, but it just was so adorable to me. And so, I mean, as far as what the future holds, I don't know. I have a tendency, something is on my knee, I have a tendency to manufacture some undying Tony and Maria in West Side Story level love affair in my brain long before it gets to that point. So I am trying to keep perspective. It was just a really great conversation, and feelings were exchanged, and I will see where it goes, and I will use my head and be analytical and you know, left-brained. I can never figure out if it's left or right-brained, but, you know, utilize my intellect and keep things in perspective and not get carried away. But secretly, y'all, I am so freaking happy. I think this is so cool. I can't even believe it. I'm just going crazy. Like, I'm so happy. But yeah, I'm composed. I am. But I just had to keep y'all posted. And I don't know what's going to come of this, and I don't know what the future holds, but suffice it to say, I had a really, really great night with a really, really great guy. And y'all, cross your fingers for me, because I'd really like to have another one. It's been a while. You know what I'm saying? Love has, and again, can I just get one witness to say that love has not always been kind to a bitch? It just hasn't been. It hasn't been. Love hasn't lived here for quite some time, but it felt good. It just felt really good. And, yeah, I'm definitely going to bed smiling. So, with that being said, YouTube, I am out of here. And just, you know, keep your fingers crossed. I'll keep you posted. You have my word. One love.